My Facebook group.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to have an incredible guest today, Jim Beard, with us. And Jim has helped me so much in terms of really being confident on camera. A few months ago, if you ask me, I would say, okay, I don't know how to put myself in front of camera. But now, as you can tell, a lot more confident. So I'm very grateful. Jim is, really taking some time and really spend with us this morning to share some tips, experience he has. Without further ado, Jim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Shuhui. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
So grateful to have you today. Would you mind to just give us, my audience, a little bit introduction, like your backstory, where you're going, how you start this online journey?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. So I started out in corporate CGI. For those of you that don't know what CGI is, it's computer graphics. Essentially, like we make cars in the computer, and the idea is to make them look so real you don't know the difference between what was shot in photography and what was created in a computer. So I did that for 15 years. For Tesla, Rivian, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Volkswagen. I was on site at Mercedes headquarters for 2.5 years, and that's what I did. But I began to feel like you feel like a little piece of a machine, and you don't really get any kind of feedback. You don't get to know that your work has made a positive effect. And when corporations are that big and that huge, you never really do get that feedback. And if you do, it's usually someone accepting an award for your work that you've never met before. And you get an email that's like, great job, team. And it's a picture of them holding an award that they're accepting on your behalf. And they're like, keep up the great work, emoji, smiley face. And, it just feels empty. So after all that time, I was like, I want to take what I've learned for these big corporations and apply it where it's going to matter, entrepreneurs. And I had slowly beginning incorporated into and introduced to ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson, as I'm sure so many of us have. And I was just fascinated. I was completely just taken with this whole online world. And I've always been fascinated by online business, but I always thought it was like a scam, to be honest with you. I thought it was a scam. It's like, the only people making money are the ones at the top. It's like a pyramid scheme, and you just take advantage of people, take all their money, and leave. And with Russell, though, it was different. It seemed real. It seemed possible, and that's all I needed. That's all I needed to know was that it was possible. So I started trying to help out people with graphics and video and um, strategy and things like that. That, like I said, I've learned from these giant corporations and I've used for them to, do in some cases like millions of dollars in media buys, uh, and ads and all sorts of things and placements. So now I'm taking that knowledge and I'm applying it to entrepreneurs and trying to help them get their message out to the world, messages that I believe in, that I think are impactful and important. And when COVID started, that's when I started publishing, and that was my game show. And when I published the game show, everything changed. Steve Larsen talks about publish, publish, publish. Russell talks about publish, publish, publish. And I feel like they're not saying it loud enough because it's that important. Without publishing, it's like having the cure for cancer and no one knows about it. Does it matter?
Yeah, that's true. I hear you. As you mentioned, Russell Brunson, a lot of people, once you get into Russell's world, you realize, okay, starting online business, it can be real. As long as you really focus, I hear you, the same thing, when I started before, I was thinking, I don't think I can do online business. That's not something I can do, or it's not real. But the more and more you really look into, more and more you listen to the people who are doing it successfully, you realize, okay, that's real. Um, so you touch a good point. A lot of people don't want to publish, don't want to put themselves in front of camera in me the same way. As I mentioned, maybe a couple months ago, if you ask me, yes, I don't know. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. I don't sound good enough, right? I put all those things in my head. But the thing is, you just showed us a very simple thing to do that completely broke, that barrier for me. So I'm just so grateful. And also, you told us to interview each other. So that's really was a turning point for me. So I realized, it's not as interview, it's not as hard as I thought I could do this. So that's when I started to do the interview, the kind of regularly, bi-weekly. I really appreciate that. So obviously, some of my audience, they have the same challenge as I did before. So what would you suggest them to do so they can achieve that breakthrough, so they can put themselves out there, really to be visible online, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we put fears in our minds about what's going to happen when we go live, right? Or when we create a piece of content and we let it go into the world. That's scary. We say in our minds, that's scary. And we say, people are going to judge us. I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. I'm too this. I'm too that. I have an accent. I don't have an accent, because there's even some people that are like, I wish I had an accent. And then there's, I'm not experienced enough. I'm not making enough. I'm not here yet. I'm not there yet. And we're putting all these things in between us and what we want. And I'm just saying, clear the table. Just clear it all away, because none of it's real. It's just not real. What do we say? Where people are going to judge us, right? People are going to think, oh, I'm a faker. I'm an imposter, whatever it may be. People want you to see you win. They want you to win. I want you to win. People out there that are watching you are generally in your circle that you've chosen, right? And that's saying, I go online and the people that I've chosen are going to say, they don't want me to win. It's just not true. But it's something we tell ourselves. It's negative thinking that we let get too far, right? So there's a great friend of mine, Dan Scully, and he talks about address your fear. Hi, fear. I see you there. What's going on? I address you. I see that you're there. I know that you're there. And I choose to do it anyway. So when you address it and you say, I see you. Okay, I know you're here, but I've got something to do. And you move that aside. Just while you're making your video. And afterwards, then you can do whatever you need to. But that's when you realize, if you allow yourself to make that video, whether for yourself or whatever it may be. And Shuhui's talking about an exercise we did together, by the way, to where I tricked everybody. I tricked everyone. And I said, okay, we're making a video right now, just on your phone. Don't worry about it. And I said, okay, I don't care how I look. I don't care how I sound. But right now, I am making a video. And that is bad. I won't curse on your show. But and then I said, all right, don't look at it. Don't watch it. Just post it into the group. And everyone's like, oh, no, no, no. And they all freaked out. And I was like, do it. I promise you, the benefits that'll come from this are massive. Do it. And most did. Some didn't. I got them later, but most did. And that's that first step that you have to take. And that's when you realize, oh, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. The world didn't end. No one said they never want to talk to me again. All those things that I thought were going to happen, no one came in and said, you're too skinny. You're too fat. You're too this. You're too that. Are you making 50 grand a month, sir? No one is doing that. It's all made up. And none of it's real. What is real, though, is when we show up for our audience and we let them know that we can help them and we genuinely give them value and help them. we actually help people. And in some cases, we help them so much that they want to have more help from us. That's when you have a business. And that's it.
That's great.
So,
Actually, just for that one simple thing, I know it helped many of us, including myself, really to be able to take that first step, then the next, then the next. You get it better and better once you
mhm,
do more. So that's absolutely true. So my next question is, you start your online journey from a game show. You
mhm.
have that idea, you didn't hesitate. You can really move forward and try it, and then you kind of form business around that. I know many people, including myself, we may have some ideas, so we sit on it, we don't do anything about it. Then, so can you share a little bit experience around that, and how you turn an idea into something kind of tangible, even form a business around it?
Sure, sure. First off, I was hesitant. I had all the same fears that all you guys have too. When my very first live video that I ever made was episode 1 of X's and O's game show. So I put my feet to the fire. I put myself into a deadline, and I said, "It's do or die, do it." And that's just my personality type. I just know me well enough to know that that's the only way that was going to happen. Is if I had people depending on me that I was going to let down if I didn't do it. So I set it up that way. So really, a big recommendation to you guys is know yourself. Know what influences you to take action and set it up to follow that. And so that way you know you will. So I have to put myself into a position to where it's do or die. And I'll do it. But if I don't set it up that way, I'll dodge and I'll try and, make my way out of it because of all that negative thinking. So I set this up in a way to where I had a deadline. And if I didn't meet that deadline, I was going to let people down. So, like I said, set it up to match your personality. That's very, very important. Don't give yourself a way out. Give yourself a road to follow, and that's it. And then later on, once you get comfortable, then you can expand and play. But play is a big thing too. Allowing myself to play because I let the excitement carry me through. So when the pandemic started, I knew it was a very special time, and I knew it was time to publish because people are going to be locked in their houses. They're going to be starving for content and entertainment. Um, I had to make something. It's like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is never going to happen again in my lifetime. And if it does, it's going to be different. This is the first one. So this is very special. And there's all these people negatively affected by, the pandemic and financially, health-wise, family members, and all this awful things happening. And I was like, we need something to entertain and educate because so much content out there is like, all right, if you see here, I made a funnel and the funnel's connected to the CRM and the CRM sends you 5 emails exactly. And then after that, you make a sale. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to fall asleep. This is awful. It's like we need to inject a little bit of entertainment into our education as well. Because if you went on Netflix and someone was talking like that, you'd be like, next, next. And we're in a world of binging content. So we don't even give it 3 seconds of thought. You go, oh, that looks dumb. Nope. 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 Like that's our decision making process. Nope. Nope. So we have to stop the button push, which is entertainment, hooks, headlines, engagement. Those are things that we need just to be seen because we're in a noisy market, right? Everything's so noisy. Look at me, look at me, look at me. So back to the beginning of the pandemic. I had been kicking around the idea of starting a podcast. I was going to call it Fail Faster because I love failure. Failure, I think, is a great thing. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point where I think that failure is a great thing. But I think we put too much negativity on failure in a big way. So I was going to make a podcast based around that. I want to talk about your best failure, but put a different connotation on it. Failures are tries. Failures are case studies. Failures are experience, not failure. You messed it up. You dropped the ball. You didn't make it. No success. Bad job. Bad, bad, bad. Go lay down. None of that. So, but I thought that because the pandemic was special, it needed a special thing that wasn't like anything else. So I'm a very visual, odd person. And I have an odd sense of humor and personality. And I was like, I don't think a podcast is going to deliver on that in the way I need it to. So what can I do? Okay, so I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do that's going to be weird, odd, strange, scroll stopper, right? At the same time, all these entrepreneurs are giving away their products for like 90% off, 95% off, free, trying to help out people negatively affected by COVID. And so if you guys are like me, and I'm sure you are, because we're all very similar in this world of entrepreneurship, is if you don't pay attention. And I found it to be exponentially true as I progressed in my business and my career. So I know that these things are just gathering dust in your Gmail or your Google Docs, and you're probably not even logging in. And if you are logging in, that was all you did because it didn't keep your attention. And that, what a shame. What a tragedy. All this amazing information from all these massive people that have made millions of dollars, hundreds in some cases of millions of dollars. And they're giving away all this knowledge and we do nothing with it. Man, it sucks. It's such a tragedy. What would happen if they earned it? And that sentence started me on this journey. What if they earned it? And how do you earn something online? What does that look like? And gamification has gotten really popular, like exceedingly popular. But at the time, it was just kind of like gamification would be cool. It wasn't like as hot as it is right now. So I was like, what if they earned it? How do you earn it online? Ooh, like a game. And that started me on the game thing. And I was like, ooh, game show. So then I dove into YouTube, deep rabbit hole. And I went into all these old game shows. And, you got the dating game and the match game and Singled Out and, all these things we grew up with. And I came across Hollywood Squares. And I was like, this is awesome. Because if you saw, I just imagine you seeing all these people huddled into a tic-tac-toe grid, and how cool that would look in a timeline. So the whole time I'm thinking, what's the scroll stop? What's going to make someone stop? Ooh, seeing the people that they love and they look up to playing a game together. That would make me stop. If I see Steve Larsen and Marley Jaxx and Omar Ladder and Alan Dean and all these awesome people together just playing a game, you have my attention. I want to know what's going on, how they got there, and how I can participate. So that was in my mind. So now
That's awesome. Yeah.
right. So if you see it like scrolling through, you'd be like, what is happening? I have to at least check it out. And that was all I was thinking. I was like, okay, that's the scroll stop. Now, how do I do it? Because I've never made a show online before. I've filmed shows, real shows. I've done that world, but I've never done streaming before. This was all new to me at the time. So I did a deep dive and I'm looking online for anyone playing a live game together. And I came across Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who don't know, is a card game. And it's played with all these mythical creatures and things like that. And it gets a pretty bad rap, but it's actually seemingly a fun game. They wouldn't let me play because I'm too chatty. But I got a lot of respect for Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. So they're playing online. They're playing live together in a circle around the board, and they're also taking comments live. I was like, oh, this is it. If I can figure out how they did this, I can make my idea work. So now I went into each of their individual content, and I found the one guy that made the show because he had a bunch of content about how he makes these live streams. So now I knew what I didn't know. Because when you get into any new venture, there's things that you just don't know yet. And you don't know that you don't know because it's all new. So, for example, when you get into ClickFunnels world, you don't know what a funnel is. And you didn't know you needed to know what a funnel was until you met Russell. You didn't know what you didn't know. So now,
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, that's
now I
absolutely
know
true.
the terminology that I didn't know I needed to know. So now I do searches on those and I discover how to make my show, or at least kind of. Yeah, and nothing was for sure. Nothing was finite. Everything was kind of. And that was good enough because that was good enough to test and try. So I duct taped it together. I threw it together as quickly as I could. And I said, all of my friends and family, I'm like, all right, everyone's getting on Friday. They're like, what is this? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just get on the show. Okay. It's for me. Just do it. Please do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I got a deadline. And so the day of, I realized that Zoom is not going to work with OBS, Streamlabs OBS. Oh no. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I have hours until the show. And these are 11 people coming on with me. So 11 people are depending on me to have my stuff together, right? So I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And I didn't know how to transfer the show from one thing to another. So I remade the show in an hour and a half in OBS Studio on the fly. And I did it. But it was really rough. It was real rough. So I got everyone on, everything
I
built.
need to go to watch that, see how rough that is.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said I need to go to watch that your first show. Let's see how it works.
Yeah, enjoy it. And you enjoy it when you see it, okay? And I'll never take it down because it's a part of me. It's part of my journey, my story. So everyone got on. Everything went crazy. Everyone's windows are big when they're supposed to be small. I'm not the host anymore. I'm like a guest, and is nuts. But everyone had fun. So I end the show and I'm like, what did I just do? All that negative thinking comes like flowing back in, right? Everything comes back in, all that rationalizing, like how you were feeling. You see what happens? See how you're feeling? That's right. That's the way you should feel. You should feel like dirt. And I'm like, I'm trying to fight this stuff off. And usually I get about like 2 to 3 messages, maybe a week on Messenger at this point. I had over 30 from people that were like, oh my God, that was so much fun. What did I just watch? That was insane. Oh my God, please keep, can I be on the next show and all this other stuff? And I'm like, what? They liked it? It all fell apart. How did they like it? What they liked was the format. They liked the trivia. They liked the goofiness. They liked play. They all wanted to just have an hour to where they didn't have to think about their problems, their bills, and all these people that they're probably buying courses from in general. Some of them I had on the show. Most of them were friends and family, but they liked the discussion and they learned something. It's like, okay, well, let's try it again. Let's try it again. Why not? Let's try it again. So the next one, I was like, I'm going to reach out to a big name and see what happens. What's the worst they can say? No. And, because I'm feeling a little more confident now because I got the show to actually just like get done with one in the bag. You get the first one out of the way because it's going to just be bad. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Your
Absolutely.
first one's just going to be rough because you're feeling it out. You don't know who you are yet. You don't know what the show is yet. You don't know the format to follow yet. Everything's new. So you just got to get it out of the way. So I got it out of the way. Everything went nuts. And you just get to the second one. So now I'm on the second one. and I reach out to Marley Jaxx. And I'm like, Marley, I got this nuts show. It's just crazy. And I think you'd be perfect for it. Would you be interested? And she's like, she didn't even remember who I was, to be honest with you. I don't even think she remembered who I was. If you asked her now, she'd be like, of course I remember. No, I don't think she remembered who I was. She's so nice. She's so nice and supportive. But she's like, can you
Actually,
send me?
Jim, I just want to ask you about that. You know, a lot of us think, okay, you know, those are big names out there,
Sure.
it's far out of our reach. You know, for example, I wouldn't think, okay, one day I will be able to reach out to Marley Jaxx or Steve Larsen, right? So how did you do that? How did you have that courage? Or what's the approach? How you reach out to them? Would you mind
I will
to?
get to that. I will
Okay,
get to
got
that
it.
right after
Let me
this.
continue.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I was like, Marley, I got this weird show. And she was like, can you show me an example? So I sent her the first broken show. And I just said, here it is. Isn't it fun? Isn't it crazy? And she's like, I'm in. Whoa. And then she asked to bring a friend. Of course you can bring a friend. You're Marley Jaxx. You do whatever you want. There's another big name in the space. So now it's a masterclass in leverage. Because now everybody else, I go, hey, I got these two gigantic names. You want to come on my show? Be on the show with them? And now everyone's like, what is this show? Why don't I know what this is? What are you talking about? You got Marley? How'd you get Marley? And I'm like, yeah, Marley's coming on my show. You know, confidence. What's going on? And so now I fill the show in 2 hours. Easy. Because everyone's like, we want to be on with Marley. So everyone else comes on and the show breaks again. Everything goes nuts. And same scenario. I get done with it and I'm like, I'm right back in that negative thinking. I'm letting it happen again. But I had fun. This was the difference this time is I allowed myself to enjoy myself. Because I got Marley Jaxx on my show. Like, what? So I just had fun. And I got to experience something that I never would have without my show. So I'm enjoying that this time around. I'm like, and this time again, even more messages. Oh my God, so much fun. Marley actually sent me a video message that was like, that was awesome. If you need a testimonial, you let me know. I'll give you a testimonial. The other person was like, yes, absolutely. I love this so much. Oh my God, please don't stop. Keep making these. So that was all right. Double down. And that started this whole journey. And we went to 33 episodes, and we're coming back as soon as I can get the show redesigned for our season 2. I'm very, very excited. But to answer your question about how to address people like a Marley or a Steve, this is so easy. We just don't want to take the time to do it. And that is, I became the most active, present, engaging, supportive person I could in her group. I made sure that even though she didn't know me personally, she knew who I was. So if you can become that person, because what do we do as entrepreneurs? We all have groups, right? When we go into a group and you do a live and you see that 0 in the corner, get that negative thinking in your head, right? Now, crazy engaged person shows up. They're asking you stimulating questions. They're making your content better. They're liking, sharing. They're participating. If you tell them to do something, they're doing it, and they're doing it in a big way. I guarantee they have your attention because they're the few. You always want to be in the group of the few. So whatever the masses are doing, not paying attention, not engaging, not liking, not sharing, not, you do go the other way. And you will get noticed. So when I sent her that message, she already knew I was a very active person in her community. So it was like, I've already given you so much. I got a little ask. I asked her to come on and have some fun. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
ask her to
just
come
for
on and give. I didn't
yeah.
ask her to come on and give a lecture. I didn't ask her to come on and give a training, I asked you to come on and come and play a game with me. It's a little ask.
Yeah, that's awesome. You just dropped some gold nuggets. First of all, it's not that hard as a lot of people think, right? First of all. Second thing is you need to build that connection. A lot of people think, okay, I'm just sitting here, I don't want to do anything, then I want to catch somebody's attention, and that's never happen. You have to somehow, you need to pay attention, get engaged to catch their attention, right? Then, once you build that connection with them, it will be much easier. Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's
I want
awesome.
to show you
Uh,
something because you mentioned
yeah,
something. I want to
awesome.
show you something
Great.
else. A tidbit that's going to help you. Pay attention to where their newest publishing platform is, where they're paying the most attention right now. And I'll tell you. Can I share my screen?
Of course, yeah. Let me see how I can do that. I have never done that before. Uh,
So at the
you
bottom,
can.
I have my share screen, and then you have the different
Okay.
formats.
All
What are
right,
the
I got
formats
it.
that you
Yeah,
got it?
added to. Oh, awesome. Okay, learned
So
something
look,
new today.
Steve Larsen is spending a ton on making this YouTube channel a very special place. He's making amazing content, incredibly informative content. I highly recommend everyone consume this, become a subscriber. It's amazing. So is Marley's, by the way. So Marley is as well. Here, let me show you. She's got some more, but she's creating incredible content. So here's something I want you to notice, though. 101 views. If we click on it, how many comments do we have?
I got the hint.
How many comments are there, Shuhui?
Yeah, not many, right? Yeah.
And I know this guy. I told him to do this. He didn't follow the format I asked for, but contribute. This is where you can be one of the few. One comment. This is a video that she posted on the 2nd. It's been live for 3 days. One comment. And this is something she's putting an incredible amount of attention into. Do you think that if you comment on here, there's a high probability that she'll see it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yup. So that's a big one.
Got you. I learned something new today.
Yeah. So that's something she cares about. That's something Steve cares a ton about right now, is that YouTube channel. So your highest probability of getting through all of the noise is to go there, because then you'll be one of the few.
Yeah, that's an awesome tip. That's literally something new I learned just now. I didn't even think of it, to be honest. Yeah, it's awesome. I know you are expert in creating the videos. A lot of people don't know. Let's see if they want to go live or something. They don't even know how to structure the video. So then people would pay attention, would listen. Any suggestion on that?
Yeah, and I got this format from Marley. I don't know if she got it from somebody else, but I first learned it from Marley. Okay. So, and if you'll look at YouTube videos, a lot of YouTube videos follow this format. And that is the hook. So this is a format to a video structure that you can follow. And I've taught you this before as well. Hook, intro, 3 things to talk about, tell them what you talked about, conclusion, CTA. If you can follow that as an outline, you're going to make fantastic videos. So let me go through each one. Intro. I'm sorry, hook. Excuse me. Hook. Why should people watch this video? Why should they watch it all? We have an attention span that's like itty bitty attention span. Like I said before, we're channel changing. We're Netflix used to it now. Oh, this is good. And you put down the remote. Why was that you put down that remote? You had a good hook. Pay attention to hooks. There's a ton of them all around you, and we don't pay attention. We just go, oh, I want to watch that. Why? Ask why. Because if you can ask why, you got a good hook. Pay attention. Netflix in particular has amazing hooks. Just watch the trailer. Did they capture your attention in the first 5 seconds? Did you want to watch after the first 5 seconds? Interesting enough, only watch 5 seconds of a trailer and pause it. Do you want to watch it? If you don't, move on to the next one. And you can just do this and find great hooks. Netflix in particular has to have killer hooks because it's really noisy now. But you have to have the hook to capture that attention. So you have it now. You have the attention. So now the next part, the intro, is authority. Why should they pay attention to you? So now they want to watch the video, but why do they care about what you say? That's the authority. So you show you, if you speak on stage, you speaking on stage, you helping people. Oh my God, Shuhui blew my mind the other night. Fire emojis, that kind of stuff. That's where you put that stuff, because now it's like, oh, Shuhui knows her stuff. Cool. And then you come in and you say, this is what we're going to talk about today. Then you talk about it. So there's 3 things that you're going to talk about on any given video, right? 3 subjects. And in between each subject, you're going to give an engagement break. What do you mean, Jim? I'll tell you. So after the first thing, you say, what do you guys think about that thing? Are you using this in your business right now? Have you seen this used in other businesses? So I'll give you an example, like the Netflix thing, right? The first thing I'm going to talk about how to get attention is to get inspiration from Netflix. That's going to be my first thing I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to say everything I said. You go through and you just only watch 5 seconds of it. Do you want to watch it? If you don't, move on, because that's not a good hook. So that's my one thing I'm talking about. At the end of that, I go, have you ever paid attention to Netflix hooks or Hulu hooks or anything like that? Is that anything you've ever given any thought to? If so, tell me, what's your favorite Hulu, Netflix, or any one of those platforms hooks? I'd love to know. Let me know below. So what that does, it gives them a break, because they're downloading a lot of info. So it gives them a minute to absorb it. And then it gives them a minute to respond, engagement, which then reaffirms it in their mind, because they have to think of an answer in regards to what they just learned. So it's really instating that in their mind and their memory banks. And it's letting other people know, for you, that your content's good, that it deserves that feedback. So now we go into the second one, the second thing for hooks, whatever it may be. And you do that 2 more times. And at the end, you say, all right, today we talked about the 3 number 1 things you can do to get killer hooks in all of your video content. And if you love this content, this is where you go into your CTA. So you tell them what you told them. And then in the CTA, you say, if you love this content and you want to know more about how you can make your videos more entertaining, educating, filter your audiences, and ascend them up the value ladder, I got a special treat for you. I got this lead magnet that I put together that's going to tell you the 20 best hooks of 2021. It's going to tell you the best structures for your videos. It's going to tell you the best thumbnail you can make to get penetration and attention on YouTube. And it's going to tell you the best keywords you can use to be able to be SEO searchable online. If that is of interest to you and you want to get more of this content, please click the link below. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
That sounds very interesting to me.
What?
That sounds very interesting to me. I would want to find out.
Yeah. So a lot of people have trouble with getting the CTA. How do I ask after I gave? And that's it. If you love this content, if you love this, if you enjoyed that, that is the transition that works really well for me in particular. Everyone's got a little bit different style they put on it, but it's all kind of just a twist on that. That's your transition. So you tell them what you told them. hey, today we talked about the 3 number 1 things, and then if you love this content, I made something really special for you guys. It's absolutely free. Click the link below, and it's going to teach you blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. Click the link below. See you on the next one. And that's it. It's only as difficult as we make it. And I think we really want to make it hard. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I made it hard too. When I first started videos that were asking something of somebody else, I had a really hard time making the ask. And now looking back on it, it's like, why? Why'd you have such a hard time with that? They just spent X amount of time with you. Ask. You never know till you ask. And the other thing is, should I ask something on every single video, Jim? Yes. Absolutely. CTA on every single video. And I hope Shuhui has one at the end of this. She should, if she doesn't. And do they always have to be for a sale? No. It could be, if you love this, join my group. If you love this, check out my lead magnet. If you love this, check out my low ticket offer. Check out my templates. Whatever it is, always ask something, even if it's just a little ask, because you don't want to get into the grouping of, oh, Shuhui just gives value and never asks. That's where I go to just get free stuff. You don't want that.
Yeah,
because then when you do ask, it's like, Shuhui, I thought we were friends. Where's all this asking for money stuff coming from? This feels wrong. And you don't want that. So from day one, you want to make even a little ask.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Now, yeah, now I'm just thinking about
the big ask.
Yeah,
it's like, well, yeah, Shuhui gives me awesome content and value that I use all the time. Why wouldn't I want to take part in whatever she's doing? But if you don't start that way, it feels wrong when you do it.
That's true. That's true. I kind of realize, for example, when I do my Facebook Live, I don't always, sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. So I really truly need to think about this, how I'm going to structure the video, and at the end, always has CTA. Otherwise,
well, you have from now to the end of the video to come up with a CTA. So I can't wait to hear it.
All right, I'll try my best.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so another thing I do realize, if you don't ask, people don't know. If you don't ask them to do something, they don't know what to do. So I didn't realize that until recently. Don't give people something to do, they don't know. So for example, like when people join my group, I assume in my welcome video, I told them about the free course. They would go to check it out. But what happened later on when I reach out to each person, realize that nobody even know there's a free course there.
And it sounds hurtful, but it's not. Trust me, it's not. Yeah. People just don't care as much as we think they do. They have lives, and there's so much just like coming at us all the time. We got families, we got other things that matter in our lives, and we think that we mentioned it one time on one video that's good for life. No, they forgot that thing even existed 10 minutes after it happened. It's over.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. So we can't get upset by that, So what Steve says is the moment that you are exhausted and you think that you're doing way too much, publishing and reminding people and offering, is when people are actually just starting to notice you. They're just starting to realize that you exist on this earth when you are like done. And you're like, I can't do another video. I am exhausted of seeing myself. That's the moment people are like, oh, Shuhui's the thing. Shuhui's got really cool content. I should look into that more someday. That's the moment when you're exhausted is the moment they're just starting to realize you exist.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, so I guess if people want to know more about you, where can they find you? Your Facebook group. I will
Yeah.
see. I can put the link in my in the comment later afterwards.
Yes, it's called Visibility Hackers, and
Yeah.
it's a group I have with Molly Dorse and Junaid Ahmed, and we cover all things that allow you to get visible. So if you find yourself being invisible right now and you want to get more spotlight on you and your message in a very quick manner, join Visibility Hackers. That's where we teach you all about getting visible online and
It's just
cracking through
so
that noise.
important. Yeah. I just also realized that's super important being visible because the thing is, a lot of people think, okay, I want to start a business, but I don't want to show up. The reality is, if you don't show up, nobody knows you, and nobody knows how you look, nobody knows how you speak, right? And it's hard for you to be really known and also build your authority online. So, yeah, Jim dropped so many nuggets today. I'm sure my audience would be able to really learn so much from what you just said. All those little things matter. If you keep doing make sure you take those little actions and really learn and move forward. As you mentioned, just the kind of burn the boat, have an idea, really don't sit on it. Keep moving forward, try to explore, always try to come up with a new idea. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We learn from it, right? That's great. So before we end today's interview, and what would be the last words I guess you want to share with my audience?
Well, the last words are going to come from you,
All
and I'm
right.
waiting on them. But for me, is be the star audience that your ideal people want to have in their group. Be the person that they gloat to their friends about. Be the person that, like, a Doug Bowden is going to go, Steve Larsen, dude, Shuhui is just killing it in my program, man. She is super active. She's on every live. She is doing all the homework. She's killing it. She made her first grand online. And, like, oh my God, every time she shows up, I just get so happy. Be that person. And then asking is not a big deal.
Got you. Yeah, that's an awesome
Be
tip.
the star in the group. Be the few. And if you want to narrow it down to the very simplest, be the few. Wherever the masses are going, be the few. And that's gonna where you're gonna get noticed.
Awesome. Noted. I definitely, that's something I should do more. Yeah, if you want to really move my business forward. Awesome, Jim. I'm so grateful you spent so much time with us this morning and really educate and, my audience, I'm sure will learn a lot from today's content. I guess for anybody who's out there, if you really love the content we covered today, I have so many other trainings in the group. Also, the interviews under the guest tab, make sure you go to check it out. It's going to really help you. That's something I put together. I'm learning on this journey and I'm sharing with you. Okay. If you watch live, hashtag live. If you watch replay, hashtag replay, let us know. Give us some feedback, know what more other content you want to learn. I'm to be very happy to bring in any other experts to the group and share anything with you. All right. Make sure give us some feedback, comments, and stay tuned. We're going to see you in the next live. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.